Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel. As you can see, I've gotten a few games in the interim period, but I haven't had a chance to unbox them yet because I've been in the middle of my 1985 baseball season replay. Now, just as a heads up, what I'm thinking for the schedule as of now is once I get one of the LCSs over for my 1985 replay, I'm probably going to drop Tuesday night baseball after that because I mostly needed Tuesday night baseball to help me get through the division series round because there was a lot of games in there. So I wanted as many nights as possible that I could throw at that. So once I don't need Tuesday night baseball, we're going to move that back to being smaller streams. And it's been helpful not having the blocks. But what we're doing in this video is what we'd normally do on a Tuesday night. Like I mentioned, I've gotten a few games in, so we're going to crack them open here. And we're going to start off with this new RPG by Tiny Battle Publishing. So we've also got Horrified Greek Monsters and Alien Fate of the Nostromo that need to be unboxed. But we'll get those out of shot for the time being. And we'll start off with Dark War, playing in a World War Gone Mad. It's a Mark Walker game. And as we can see, there's no blurb on the back to go through yet. So we can just open the bag on this one and see what we've got in here. We've got the book in here, which presumably, let's give this a quick thumb through. See what's all in here. I don't know if this is going to have scenarios in it or what it's going to have in here. Also not really laying flat. Actually, this is a fairly long book, and I do need the character sheet out of here. So I do need, I think I will need to bring that into work so I can scan it. But from what I saw, this actually looks like a fairly simple system where anything you roll as a 4 and up is a success. So of course we've got the rule book in here. Looks like it's during the Third World War that starts on May 22nd, 1985, when the Soviets' First Guard tank army rolled across the Western German border. And then werewolves popped into that. So we've got the book there. Then we'll see what else is in here. We've got our main map. And thankfully, I do have all my other RPG map books over to the side, so those will actually be very helpful in terms of giving me additional maps that I can look at when I eventually get this game to the channel. Annoyingly, not double-sided, so that'll be helpful to have the extra maps. Now, I am thinking about picking up a copy of Zombicide in some universe. We've got our Dark War cards here, which I'm not sure what these do. We've got our standees in here. And we've got our punch board. As I was saying, I am thinking about picking up a copy of Zombicide, mostly so I can get a hold of more zombie minis, but I do have a set of the plastic standees that I've been using for my other RPGs that might suit just as well. That was originally the route I was going to go, but I'm thinking now I probably need a proper set of zombies for this game. So that'll be something I'm going back. Admittedly, I am going back and forth on that because I do also want to play the Zombicide game that I get as well. And I think if I get a Zombicide, the one that's been catching my eye the most is probably Marvel Zombies. So that'll probably be the universe I dive into. But I'm not. That's an expensive rabbit hole to jump down, though. So I'm definitely giving that some thought over the next little while. But we brought Dark War out of shot, so now we've got Alien Fate of the Nostromo by Ravensburger Games. In space, no one can hear you scream. Incoming transmission. A perfect organism, its structural perfection is matched only by its hostility. An alien stalks the corridors of the commercial starship Nostromo, hunting you and your crewmates. Work together to move through the ship, gather supplies, and craft items to survive. Proceed carefully. The alien could be just around the corner. And remember, in space, no one can hear you scream. And it's got most of our crew members, along with Science Officer Ash for a more challenging game. Now, we had a day a couple weeks ago where We had a couple weeks ago where I worked from home because there was a pretty bad snowstorm coming in. And as part of that, I actually sat down and I bought a six movie box, essentially box set of the Alien franchise. During that work from home day, I watched the first two movies of it, and I do eventually want to watch the rest of them. But again, it's been a matter of finding time. But in the 1985 off season, once I get to that point, that's something I probably will be doing in my 2-week break. Because as I mentioned this in the poll that I have up on the channel. If you haven't seen that yet, go vote on that, where I'm looking at what content I want to do once I get into the off season in 1985. I've got a few ideas up there, but as always, I'm open to additional feedback. The initial ideas I had up there were to do an RPG campaign of some kind, a war game campaign of some kind, start playing a bunch of one-off games, or just take a complete break from streaming until the next replay is ready to go. So I don't anticipate doing that as far as the taking a total break is concerned. That wouldn't, just to clarify that last option though, that wouldn't affect the scheduled videos. You still get your Saturday and Wednesday game videos along with Mystical Munchies on Saturdays. I don't know if that was maybe not clear in the post, but you would still have the regularly scheduled videos. So let's crack this open and see what we've got in here. And we're greeted by the hissing cat first and foremost. We'll widen the board out. Is the rulebook not in here? Actually, okay. Let's widen the board out, but I think I just found the rulebook. Yep. Just found the rulebook. Let's see. And the board looks like it goes like that. Okay, we've got a track for crew morale. So start for 4 to 5 players. Start with 1 to 3. Okay. So let's bring and of course and it's got the cat in there, naturally. We'll give the rulebook a thumb through at the end, but at least I was able to track that down. I was a little bit alarmed. I don't know how long this insert's going to stay in here. It might be fine while I don't have anything to deploy. So we've got our crew members. Dallas, not double-sided. Lambert, Parker, Ripley, and Brett. Again, not double-sided. We've got all of our minis in here with what looks like Science Officer Ash in there, the alien, and a token of the alien. I'm not sure what that's for. That'll probably make more sense in the game. Then we've got our various items that can be crafted, it looks like. Various other tokens. And cards which look to encounters, along with extra tokens in there. So we can throw all of that back in the box. Along with what do we got here? Looks like we've got our final missions. And then what's this? Looks like probably a cargo port, maybe something for setting the self-destruct. All right, let's give the rulebook a quick thumb through and see what all we've got in here. I'll zoom in on this just a touch. So bear with me while I zoom in. Let me see how that looks. If I can keep the rulebook in shot, it looks like it. 1 to 5 players, time 45 to 60 minutes. Let me zoom that out just a touch. I think we'll be good right there. Okay. We'll give that an okay. Pretty small rule book too. That'll be very helpful. Okay. We've got all our setup, how to play, starting objectives on your turn, crew action phase. Alien, such a great franchise. Hey, Meandering Mike, how's it going? I'm I'm just having my first few exposures. Actually, I'm having my first few exposures to the actual Alien franchise. I've played both Nemesis and Nemesis Lockdown a few times. It's an experience, and it's a mostly cool game, but there's one mechanic in there. There's one mechanic in Nemesis that absolutely drives me up a wall every time we play that game. I never stop complaining about it, and I think everybody agrees with me at this point. The one thing that drives me nuts is when the aliens attack, and is when you attack the aliens in Nemesis and do damage, you have to flip up a card every time to determine the alien's health. To me, I mean, thematically it kind of makes sense, but from a mechanical standpoint, it absolutely drives me up a wall. I can't stand it. To the point where I don't think I'm going to ever own Nemesis. There's also the issue of why would I need to own Nemesis, because somebody in my game group already owns a copy of Nemesis, so there's no reason for me to pick up a copy of it, especially, like I said, with the other mechanical details of that game that absolutely drive me nuts. Let me zoom this back out, and we'll bring our last game in shot. Plus, it's also nice to take a night off from my season replay from my 1985 season replay. Just to give myself a little bit of a breather, especially since I'm also between the League Division Series and League Championship Series rounds right now in my replay. We'll be starting the League Championship Series round tomorrow morning, but I'll have more on that one from my local game store a couple weeks ago. Horrified Greek Monsters, also by Ravensburger Games. I've got Horrified World of Monsters, so I wanted to pick this up to add to Horrified. I don't think I'm going to get the main base game or the American Monsters game. These are the two themes that really caught my eye. All Hades breaks loose as the tagline up top. A cooperative game against Greek mythology's most legendary monsters. Greece's most notorious monsters have escaped Pandora's box. The gods have called on you as their avatars to trap these beasts once more. Work together to defend against Medusa, Cerberus, Minotaur, Chimera, Siren, and Basilisk. Each monster presents a unique challenge, and players can adjust the difficulty by playing against a new group of monsters each game. Save the island of Elysium before terror overwhelms you. And we've got everything in there, so, as is mildly helpful on these unboxings, we do need to get the shrink wrap off. Because it's kind of hard to get inside the box when you actually... It's kind of hard to get inside the box when you still have the shrink wrap to deal with, I would think. Minor details, though. Anyway, shrink wrap's off. So now let's jump in and see what we've got in here. Hopefully... That's annoying. Not only do they have it shrink wrapped, they've also got the plastic tabs on, the sticky tabs on there. So I've got to cut those before I can crack this open. Get in there. And one more. Oop, looks like that one must have gotten cut already. Not realized they had a fourth one, Horrified World of Monsters. I have to order it. Hang on, I'll see if I can get it out of my game closet. So opening closet door. Ah, I see it on the other side. So hang on a second. So this is the box art you'll be looking for when you find Horrified World of Monsters, a Scream Come True. I think I unboxed this as part of my last Tuesday product unboxing before I reintroduced Tuesday Night Baseball to the channel during the playoffs. Closing closet door, by the way. Before I reintroduced Tuesday, it's on sale, 27% off Amazon. Cool. Anyway, as I was saying, I unboxed it in the Tuesday unboxing I did before I reintroduced Tuesday Night Baseball to the channel during the League Division Series round in my 1985 replay. Now enough rambling, let's actually jump into this box and see what we've got in here. Pandora's box has been breached. 6 monsters have erupted from its infinite depths. You have been chosen by the gods to work together and rid our world of this scourge. Make haste, for if you fail in your task, we shall be plunged into everlasting fear. I always thought when Pandora's box was open, it released, well, I was going to say it released the evils onto the world, but I suppose this is a way that it unleashed the evils on the world, like fear. What else was there? Fear, greed. I'm trying to remember what all the other evils were. I know it was a big thing. I know it was a big thing in God of War 3 on PlayStation 3 and 4. We'll take a quick look at the board. We've got all of our typical Greek locations. We got the Temple of Athena back out here, Trading Post, Mount Iliad, even an Acropolis, Temple of Zeus down here, which is apparently in ruins. So nice. We got some places for lair tokens to go. We can get that out of the way. We'll bring this back in shot. We've got another tiny rule book, which we'll give a thumb through to at the end. All of our punch board, which there are 4 sheets of this as usual. I don't punch out the punch board until I'm ready to deal with it. Then we've got our different standees. Looks like cards, including a reference stack, probably encounters on there. Sickness, death, sorrow. Okay, those must have been some of the other evils in Pandora's box. We've got dice in here, which I'm sure the rulebook will explain what those are for. Of course, all of our monster standees in here. Those aren't going to have the characters in there, most likely. A bag for something. Only hope remained in the box. Because Pandora, as the story goes, if I remember correctly, Pandora probably slammed Hope shut. And where if Hope got out, mankind would have despaired. And in fact, in God of War 3, I don't know if you ever played God of War 3, but that game is well over 15 years old. So spoilers in case you haven't. Hope ends up being the thing that Kratos uses being essentially Athena's ultimate weapon as the game goes. We've got our bag in here as well. I can get my hand in there. So yeah, Hope basically ends up being the ultimate weapon that Kratos uses to finally kill Zeus in God of War 3. I don't know how familiar you are with the God of War franchise, and I probably just gave you all kinds of spoilers there. Then we've got our sheets for our various monsters in here. If I can ever get them out of this bag. We got the Basilisk, along with special monster setup. Cerberus, along with its setup. Oh, it looks like it's specific setup. Actually, it looks like each monster sets up a little bit differently. Chimera. Along with advanced rules, I didn't even know that. Medusa. The Minotaur. And the Siren. Definitely looks faithful to the world of Greek mythology. I actually used to enjoy some of the Greek mythology stories in middle school. Actually, I think I still have a book of Greek myths around here somewhere. I'm not going to go digging for it right now, but I think I've still got a book of them somewhere here in my library in my apartment. Anywho, we can throw everything else back in the box. And then we'll give the rule book our cursory thumb through. We'll zoom this in. And I see my stream decided to be nuts tonight. That's delightful. Well, better tonight than tomorrow, I suppose. Tomorrow's going to be a very busy day. And I'm hoping this dumb stuff is out of the way at this point. And we can probably bring that just a little bit out of the way. All right, here's our thumb through the rule book. Got our dice. We got a frenzy marker hidden somewhere in the punch board. Looks like we've got some monster and perk cards, along with different tokens that we need for specific monsters. All of our setup, how to play the game. And they've even got a difficulty scale here. First game, play with only 2 monsters. Standard game 3, challenging 4. Got our monster phase and how everything works there. How to end the game. Okay. And even special rules for solo play. Then a reference on the monsters and the back of the rule book already. Okay. So now we can bring everything back into the box. Once it decides it wants to cooperate, there we are. Okay, check the lid. We'll zoom the camera back out. And as of now, I'm caught up on unboxings. I'll be caught up until I get another delivery in from Noble Knight. I'm expecting that tomorrow. But we're going to have a busy day on the channel tomorrow, as tomorrow morning we will have Saturday morning baseball as we continue the playoffs in my 1985 replay and season ticket baseball. We will be starting with Game 1 of the National League Championship Series, which we will be at the Astrodome as the Montreal Expos are playing the Houston Astros. Bryn Smith will be going for the Expos, and Nolan Ryan will be going for the Astros. Also Saturday afternoon, Mystical Munchies will continue out of the Dungeons & Dragons Flavors of the Multiverse cookbook as we make the entree, Bothy Steak. Sunday morning, we're playing Inside the Crease Hockey from Inside Sports Games, and Wednesday next week, we are playing Scythe Expeditions from Stonemaier Games. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more